A neighbor was shocked when she pulled her electric bill last winter. Her water heater alone was eating up almost 40% of her total energy usage. A plumber told her that was normal and offered to install a new high-efficiency unit for $1,800. She almost agreed because her old water heater was 15 years old and probably due for replacement anyway. Before she committed, I came over and did a quick audit. $2 of insulation material, about 30 minutes of work, and a small device from the hardware store. Over the next year, her water heater bills dropped nearly 40%. The water heater she already owned, with a few simple additions, suddenly performed like a much more expensive unit. Let me walk you through why water heaters are such energy hogs, why most of them waste huge amounts of what they produce, and the $2 approach that dramatically cuts their bills. First, let's talk about why water heaters cost so much to operate. A water heater does essentially one thing. It keeps a tank of water hot all the time, so you have hot water whenever you turn on a tap. The tank is insulated, but not perfectly. Heat constantly leaks out into the surrounding space, through the tank walls, through the pipes coming out of it, through the fittings at the top. The heater runs periodically to restore the lost heat, even when no one is using hot water. This constant cycling is called standby loss, and it accounts for a large fraction of a water heater's total energy use. In addition, many water heaters are set to temperatures much higher than necessary. Factory default is often 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is scalding hot. Most households are comfortable with 120 degrees, which uses significantly less energy to maintain. Each 10 degrees below the set point saves 3 to 5% on water heating costs. Third, hot water pipes, especially in unheated spaces like basements and garages, lose heat as hot water travels through them. By the time the water reaches a faucet far from the heater, it's cooler than it left, so the heater has to work harder and the user often runs more hot water to compensate. Fourth, hot water use habits. Long showers, running hot water while doing dishes, washing clothes in hot water when cold or warm would do, all add up. Conventional responses are to replace the water heater with a more efficient model, install a tankless system, or add solar thermal heating. These approaches range from $1,200 to $6,000 or more. They work, but they're often overkill when the existing unit has plenty of life left and just needs some efficiency upgrades. The $2 approach uses a combination of insulation and behavioral changes, all cheap and DIY. Here's what you need. A water heater blanket, about $20 to $30, which is an insulation wrap that goes around the tank. Pipe insulation tubes, about $2 to $3 for several feet, which wrap around hot water pipes. A few inches of foam pipe insulation cut to size, or longer pieces for more comprehensive coverage. Duct tape or electrical tape. A thermometer. Optionally, a timer for the water heater, about $20 for more advanced savings. Total material cost for most setups, under $50. Step 1. Check the water heater temperature setting. On electric water heaters, this requires removing a small access panel and adjusting a thermostat. On gas water heaters, the dial is usually visible on the front. Set it to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Use your thermometer to confirm by running hot water from the nearest faucet and measuring the temperature. If the water comes out much hotter than 120, turn the setting down. If much cooler, turn up slightly. Step 2. Install a water heater blanket if your tank is older and not already insulated. Most newer tanks have built-in insulation, and adding a blanket offers minimal gain. Older tanks, especially pre-2000 models, benefit significantly. Wrap the blanket around the tank following the product instructions. Leave vents, controls, and top access clear. Tape the blanket in place. For gas water heaters, be especially careful to keep the blanket away from the burner area and gas controls. Step 3. Insulate the hot water pipes. Pipe insulation tubes slide over pipes or split open to wrap around them. Start at the water heater and install insulation on all hot water pipes that are accessible, especially in unheated basements, crawl spaces, and garages. The first 6 to 10 feet of pipe from the heater has the biggest benefit. Even a few feet of coverage helps significantly. Seal any gaps with tape. Step 4. Insulate the cold water pipe at the heater inlet. For the first few feet, cold pipes can also cause condensation and heat loss as cold water draws heat from the tank. Insulating the inlet improves overall efficiency. Step 5. Check for anti-convection loops. Heat naturally rises, and in open pipes connected to a water heater, heat can rise up the pipe even when no water is flowing, losing heat to the surrounding air. An anti-convection loop is a simple trap-shaped bend in the pipe that stops this natural rising heat. Many modern heaters have built-in check valves, but if yours doesn't, adding heat traps or a professional check valve can help. Step 6. Install a water heater timer if your usage is predictable. An electric water heater timer, about $20 to $40, lets you shut off the heater during periods when hot water isn't needed, like overnight and midday when no one's home. This is most beneficial for households with regular schedules. Modern smart heaters have this function built in. For older dumb heaters, adding an external timer captures much of the same savings. Step 7. Address usage habits. Take shorter showers. Even 1 minute less per shower saves meaningfully. Wash clothes in cold water, which modern detergents handle fine. Fix leaky faucets promptly, especially hot water leaks, which drip away heated water. Install low-flow showerheads, about $5 to $15, which cut hot water use by 30 to 50% while still feeling like a normal shower. Step 8. Consider a shower timer or a water-saving shower gadget. Some showerheads have built-in shutoffs that let you pause the water while soaping up without losing the temperature setting. For more aggressive efficiency, consider these upgrades: a recirculating pump with timer. For homes where hot water takes a long time to arrive at distant faucets, a recirculating pump keeps hot water available throughout the pipes. With a timer, the pump only runs during typical usage hours, saving the energy that would be wasted on constant circulation. Cost about $200 installed. A heat pump water heater replacement. If your current heater is near end of life, a heat pump water heater uses about a third of the electricity of a conventional electric unit. The upgrade cost is higher, $1,500 to $3,000, but the lifetime savings are substantial. A drain water heat recovery system. This is a coiled copper device that wraps around the main drain pipe and uses the heat of outgoing shower water to preheat incoming cold water. Particularly effective in homes where showers are the main hot water use. Cost a few $100s installed with significant efficiency gains. A few honest notes for gas water heaters with exhaust vents. Improper insulation can block ventilation and create dangerous combustion conditions. Follow manufacturer guidelines strictly, and when in doubt, consult a plumber or HVAC professional before wrapping gas appliances. For modern water heaters labeled "Do Not Insulate," follow that guidance. Some new tanks are designed for optimal efficiency without additional insulation, and adding it can actually harm performance. For very old water heaters, 20 plus years old, efficiency upgrades may be throwing good money after bad. At some point, replacement is the right move. But if the heater is working fine and just inefficient, the upgrades often extend useful life significantly. For tankless systems, insulation of the unit isn't relevant since they don't store hot water. But insulating pipes and using temperature settings appropriately still matter. For solar preheated systems, where a solar collector feeds hot water into the conventional heater, maintaining the collector and pipes in good condition is more important than additional insulation on the tank itself. For rental situations, landlords typically resist efficiency upgrades on equipment they own. Focus on the user-side improvements, like low-flow showerheads and shorter showers, which require no permission and benefit the tenant directly. The economic comparison: $30 to $50 in insulation and accessories, a few hours of insulation time versus $1,800 to several $1,000s for full water heater replacement. Annual savings of $100 to $300 on water heating bills depending on household size and utility rates. The payback on DIY improvements is usually less than 1 year. One more tip: if your water heater is gas-fired and you're not sure whether insulation is safe for it, consult the manufacturer's information or have a plumber look at it once. The assessment is often free or very low cost and gives you confidence. For electric water heaters, there's almost no risk from properly installed insulation. They're straightforward to improve, and for homes with solar panels, consider dedicating some solar output to water heating via a device like a solar water heater diverter. Excess solar generation can be used to heat water directly rather than being fed back to the grid at low rates. If your water heater has been eating your electric or gas bill, pick up a blanket, some pipe insulation, and a cheap thermometer. Spend an afternoon wrapping things, turn down the temperature to 120 degrees. Install a low-flow shower head. Your bills will drop noticeably next month and continue to benefit every month going forward. No new appliance needed. Just better insulation and slightly smarter settings for $30.